Welcome back to another session of ANSYS tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be dealing with the static analysis, how to carry on a static analysis in ANSYS Workbench 12.1 release. Fine. Okay. So in last video, I have explained you about the ANSYS Workbench, and I hope that was informative enough. Well, you need to discuss start working on it. That will ultimately will lead you to discover something unknown. Well, that's how I do it. So okay, I'll just start with the session. So I'll go to an analysis system. I'll click on static analysis and drag and drop here, create a standalone system, and it has created. I'll just say cantilever underscore beam static. Okay, now here I'm done with it, and you could see this column is being named as A, whereas these are the cells that is being named by 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now I'm clicking, right now my cursor has selected static analysis, that is A1, and you could see over here in a property of schematic, it shows the property of A1 cell, that is cantilever beam static analysis. It shows you fine. And I have created right now I have clicked on engineering design data. It is nothing but a material library, wherever like you can click on that. So basically structural steel is by default selected. The book specify that it has been selected. If I would like to add few more elements to my particular project, I just need to double click on the plus and it has been added, and I also click on aluminium and it is added, and I'll go back to my project. Okay, right now in a geometry, when I'll click on a geometry, it's in A3, and you can say it says no data in a property schematic. So there are no data available at the moment. That's the reason the question mark is being given, and it has given not with the border lines, it's a solid line. That means you have to execute this one first in order to proceed ahead. The one thing that you will notice about the ANSYS workbenches, the process has been arranged in a sequential manner. That is, first you need to specify the material, second the geometry, third you have to create a FEM, that is finite element model. Then you need to set up for your analysis, solve it, and view the results. So that's how it works. So basically I'll just right click on geometry and I can create a new geometry, or else I can import a geometry. These are the geometries I've worked with so far. Or else you have another options also, which I won't be talking at this point of stage. So I'll just say new geometry, and you can see here in status bar starting design modeler. Design modeler is another design tool that has been provided by ANSYS. It's almost similar to any other CAD systems you have, and it's very good, to be very honest. So I enjoyed working on it to an extent. Fine. So I have various planes over here, you can see them, and there are no part, neither bodies at this point of time over here. So I'll just select XY plane and I'll go to sketch and I'll just sketch it. And this is, if I click on this, I'll view normal to it, or else you can even double click on the coordinate axis over here. Fine. So I'll just escape out of it and I'll select again the rectangle, and I'll just drag and drop. I'll go to dimension, I'll select the semi-automatic. Semi-automatic means it will define dimensions, minimum dimensions required to define my entire rectangle automatically. So as soon as I place my cursor, it has automatically selected, and you could see these are the only two parameters that is required to define my entire rectangle. And the dimensions, if you want to edit, you cannot click over here and edit them. You need to go to model, and underneath your XY plane the sketch has been stored. Select the sketch and the properties is being shown over here in the detail view tab. Fine. You got an L1, you got an L2. I'll change L1 dimension to 10 and L2 dimension to 100. I'll say okay. I want to extrude it. I'll select extrusion, and you could say extrusion has been done. So you can just name it. You need to select the sketch basically, but I have selected before clicking on extrude, so it has taken it automatically. I can say apply material. So apply material and add frozen is I won't be telling you right now. I'll deal with in another separate session. Okay, this is the vector, whether you like to change it, or else if you would like to specify any other vector you have of any line when you work, not on the at the starting, when you already have certain model and you'd like to specify the vector for extrusion, direction for extrusion. Over here you can go for reversed, symmetric or else asymmetric depending upon the length. So I'll just select symmetric and I'll say 3. So that is my length of it, and you can see it has been extruded on either side with the length of extrusion length of 3 mm from the mid plane. Okay. Thin surface, no merge topology when, well, at this point of stage not required. So I'll just say generate in order to generate. So you could see it's done. If I want to hide the sketch, I'll just go click here. My coordinate system is hidden. So I'll just close this, and it is automatically stored in a temporary location, and you can see that location over here. Answer system AGBD. It is stored in okay, this is stored at this point of time in over here. Okay, so this is how it is. So right now I need to create my model. I'll just close the message and I'll close the progress as well. So I'll just double click on it to open my model, and over here the property, it is shown that its physics is structural, analysis is static structural, and the solver is the ANSYS mechanical that we're using it. Okay, now it has been developed. Now you could see the model has come into a pre-processing sector where we need to mesh it, and you can automatically mesh it. It's nothing big deal about it. Just click on mesh and say update. It will automatically update. Fine, it is automatically updated. You can see it's an hexa mesh, and then I'll click on geometry, and when I'll click on solid, you can see the material has been assigned. Stiffness behavior is flexible. I'm not into rigid body dynamics, and I can click it and I'll select any other material that I would like. I'll select aluminum alloy, and I'll go to analysis, and it's all been done. So I'll specify my conditions. So I'll fix this one end, and I'll say apply, and you could see it is showing this end is being fixed. Click on a load, select pressure, and I'll say apply. Click apply. You always need to click apply in order to activate that, in order to activate the selection. So right now I would like to apply in a Z direction. So rather than going for a vector, I could easily choose a component, and along the Z direction I could specify 100 and say okay. Now you could see the graph has been showing that the load will be incremented as it reaches a step 1 from 0. Fine. Now you can see there are all tick marks. That means that the parameters that are required to specify in order to execute the solution is being done. So you can carry it further. So I'll just click on solution, and I'll select the total deformation, stress, and that's it. And I'll go for solution, solve. And it's done. So you have now tick mark. That means there is no error. Solution has been done. Say and go on. So you can see the animation between equivalent stress. You could see here, and well, as usual, cantilever being the central plane says there is neither expansion or contraction. It's assumed, but it's not always. Why? Because we consider that surface to lie in a plane, and plane is always of no thickness, but in general there is some effect on it. Right. So that's all about ANSYS static analysis work in an ANSYS 12.1 release workbench. Anything else that you would like to know about the ANSYS, do let me know, and I'll try to get back to you with the video.